Got the cousins in the kitchen, auntie tripping, uncle sipping. Whole house smelling different, then the vegans start twitching. Angry vegans at Thanksgiving, so mad. Talking, but they never really living. Nah. Say it's morals, I'm knowing what it is though. Vitamin deficient and they salty at the fridge though. Angry vegans at Thanksgiving, so mad. Turkey on my plate, I'm sinning, I'm grinning. They don't care about the animals, listen. They just mad, meat delicious, that's the mission. Lil' cousin say grace, then I stab that ham. Tofu loaf on the table, whole fam say damn. That John Gray, whole plate so beige. Mashed beans, sad greens, no joy, pure rage. They preach pain, say the turkey got a soul, but the real pain sitting deep in they B12 low. Iron level in the basement, mood in the gutter. Every carb raw, every thought need butter. They sniff air, get high off celery. Meanwhile I'm swimming in the Mac and the cheddar seed. Talking meat is murder, Airy is oppression. Really just hungry, mad at they digestion. Angry vegans at Thanksgiving, so mad. Talking, but they never really living. Say it's morals, I'm knowing what it is though. Vitamin deficient and they salty at the fridge though. Angry vegans at Thanksgiving, so mad. Turkey on my plate, I'm sinning, I'm grinning. They don't care about the animals, listen. They just mad, meat delicious, that's the mission. They got rage in their eyes, kale in their teeth, trying to swap my turkey leg for a lentil reed. Say, you know that meat gonna shorten your years, but they shaky on the stairs, low sugar.
Yo, they storm in the kitchen on with kale ammunition. Got 2 food turkeys, man, they on a weird mission. Save the planet! They chant with conviction, but truth be told, it's a B12 affliction. No gravy boats, just cashew cream floating. Stuffing full of queen, know what the vibe's demoting. Green bean casserole with almond dust raining. I'm just trying to eat while they acting so complaining. Vegans, man, they taking the crown. Trying to turn my turkey feast upside down. But deep inside, they just want what I got. Meat's too delicious, that's why they hot. On the platter, they call it a spread. I'm clutching my drumstick, they giving me dread. Cranberry sauce, nah, beef puree. Asked for mac and cheese, they brought souffle. They yell, forks held like swords, but I see eye in my hand, they looking bored. Tofurkey's dry, their dreams are too brittle. They sniff my gravy, their resolve starts to whittle. Yeah, but did it, Susan, you dream of steak. Your temp is bland and your soul's at stake. Vitamin D low, your mood's a mess. I can see it in your eyes, you crave that zest. Vegans, man, they taking the crown. Trying to turn my turkey feast upside down, but deep inside they just want what I got. Meat's too delicious, that's why they hot. Vegans, man, they taking the crown. Trying to turn my turkey feast upside down, but deep inside they just want what I got. Meat's too delicious, that's why they hot.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, 2 men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Happy after Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, I hope that you had a great one, especially all you vegans out there. I hope it was delicious. Let's talk.
Big club, and you ain't in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is brought to you by you guys in the Downers Club. People like Aaron, Michael, James, William, Surtur, Nathan, Keenover, Gilda, Kate, John, Bob, Drugs, Autumn, Sean, CD, Zachary, Trash, Abrogate, Maxwell, Kimberly, Kimyuppie, Steve, Noah, JC, Justico, Silas, Denise, Joey, Perry, Adam, Donald, Matt, Osmataz, Sean, Stoney, Heffalumps, Level 0. No, I missed one. Now I'm all screwed up. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System is Down, where we are thankful for you and your hard-earned and much appreciated dollars that keep this show going and growing and getting bigger and better every single week. And, you know, sometimes there's bonus stuff. There's always bonus stuff over there because you haven't caught up to all that. I know you haven't. But we're going to talk about some news on this beautiful Black Friday of ours. And I brought a friend to do it with me. It's Dave. It's Dave. It's always Dave. Dave with the... There we go. Dave. Happy Thanksgiving, Dave. How are you?
Oh man, grateful to be here, bro. That's the vibe of the weekend. It's great so far.
Yeah.
How was
Do
yours?
anything fun? Did you eat any good food? Did you guys visit some family or anything?
Yeah, man, I'm lucky enough. My mother lives like a block and a half over, and she loves to cook, and she did an amazing job. Everybody brought like one or two things. My girl made some bacon wrapped dates and a nice sweet potato platter with some like walnuts and
Nice.
brown sugar. That was delightful. But yeah, dude, I mean, she loves it. So, you know, legit homemade cranberry sauce, the whole
Works.
deal. She made like a spiked cider that was just awesome, and great Thanksgiving vibes yesterday with the fam. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's good. Did you take a break from the internet and all the stupid people that are on the internet?
I sure did.
Or did you happen to hang out on there and see all the angry vegans yesterday, Dave?
No, dude, I watch football like 4 times a year, and yesterday was one of the times I just watched football and, you know, hit the pen and
Sure.
ate food. And
By watch football, do you mean like sit in the living room
Yes.
where all the other people
I
are
was
sitting
there.
watching football?
I was in the room when there was football on, and I would peek up every once in a while and go, "Hey, oh,
Good job, guys. We're doing great, I think. Yeah, I had some great food, good family, good vibes, and it was quite a chill one also. I did not, well, I mean, I took a break from the internet in order to do those things, but I certainly dipped my toes back in. And I don't know if it's just me or, have you seen the Angry Vegans, or is it just because I clicked on a couple PETA things that now I just have a wall feed full of angry vegans that are like, meat is murder, pork is people, and all that bullshit? Did you see any of that?
I saw none of that." But I think this is the time of year when they typically start to lose their shit. It's like fucking Turkey genocide, and just kicks it off, and no stopping until 2026.
Absolutely. Now, it was delicious. I want to say first and foremost, and the turkey was delicious, and everything else. So, but PETA is being PETA again, and I'm pretty sure we covered this last year because PETA always freaks out this time of year, and I'm pretty sure they've gotten lazy enough that they're even recycling some of their old rapey memes because we'll just jump right into it. Here's the first one: "A vegan Thanksgiving just feels right," says PETA, and this is a. Dave, do you want to just for the audio listeners describe to us what we're looking at here?
Nah.
Pass. I've got some dignity.
I'm good. But for the watcher, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And thank you for being here with us today to look at
That's
this.
right. Thank you for spending your Black Friday with us to go over such important things as... Okay, so this is, since Dave won't, this is a mixed race couple, so at least they're being forward thinking there. That's good on them. But the mixed race couple is stuffing a turkey together, and the kids are watching saying, "Ew, gross." And the man has a look on his face that, I don't know, he might be skinning a human later today, but he says, "Let's open those legs." And she says, "And stuff it all the way." And stuff it all the way. So it's, again, I'm pretty sure they used this one last year, so it's not new.
so.
It's not surprising. It's just never not a little shocking when PETA's like, "Hey, it's Thanksgiving again. You want to fuck chickens, don't you? You want to rape animals, don't you?" Turkeys. Sorry, wrong holiday. But they come on a little strong. It's a little aggressive, and I'm gonna share some more here. Here's the next one. PETA says, "So why is it okay when it's a turkey?" the image is of. It says wrong species or wrong tradition, and it's an old lady cooking a bald eagle, and everybody's looking on in horror as she evilly cooks the bald eagle, and they're like, wrong species or wrong tradition. What do you think about this one, Dave? Is this compelling you to not eat meat because it might be a bald eagle one day?
I would love to be I would love to just intern in the meme department at PETA for a couple weeks and just be like, okay, guys, what the fuck are we getting into today? Because, yeah, I mean, that's not like if you're tasked with that, like doing what they do in their tone, like I just want to give that guy a high five. You wouldn't eat an eagle, would you?
Yep.
Fuck no, dude. You're right. You're right.
That's a fair point. And it's like the demographic. They're like sitting down. They're like, who are we targeting today? Who's eating too much meat? Well, it's all these MAGA Americans and whatnot. These patriots. Oh, well, what if it was a bald eagle? They wouldn't like that, would they? It's like, that's not going to work, guys. Like, they're hunters. They're hunters. Like they like meat more than I do. So, yeah, it's probably not going to work if you just say, but what if it was your favorite bird that we were eating? Huh? Then would you feel bad? No, I wouldn't. Still, but, you know, I'm me. Next one. Here we go. PETA says, apparently eating a nut roast is weird, but this is perfectly normal. And it says, everybody, there's 3 people gathered around this turkey who is somehow still alive and terrified. It says, I can't wait to slurp these juices. And then another guy says, she's so juicy.
Bro, that's the spirit cooking lady right there, Abramovich.
Yep,
that's
Marina
her. That's her Thanksgiving right there.
It checks out. Any? Is this one swaying you, Dave? You let me know when you change your mind and decide to go vegan by all this very, witty propaganda that they're using to change your mind.
I love how all of their faces were like possessed.
Yep.
Like they just, oh my god, fucking turkey. Like I just,
all meat
turkey's not even
eaters.
that great.
Or
we
just
do it once
savages. Horny savages.
Yeah. Right. No distinction between what you want to eat and fuck. It's crazy.
Yep. Next one. PETA says, killing a baby on Thanksgiving shouldn't be tradition. And it has a picture, an AI-generated picture of a baby with wide eyes, a human baby, and it says 4 months is infancy for a human, but a death sentence for a turkey. Then it has a baby turkey with wide eyes who's getting it.
Who's actually sad.
Yes. The turkey is very distraught.
That turkey just found out it was going to be murdered and put on that face after that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The baby looks less scared than the turkey does, but I know AI generation is hard to get to do what you want sometimes. But
that's compelling. That's a sad-looking turkey. Pixar.
It's very Disney. Yeah.
Do some shit with that. Yeah.
Big eyes, all black pupil, like big pupils. Now on this one, Dave. I mean, I don't know about you, but this image here just makes me feel like I can't say 100% sure, but I'm at least 90% sure that PETA has eaten human children at some point to prove a point, and it just wasn't like the propaganda they were going for. But I don't know. There's something about this one that's like, did you guys eat that baby after you were done taking the picture? Has PETA ever eaten children, Dave?
I like how you say PETA like it's a monolithic,
it's just one hive mind
destroyer of worlds. Right. I'm pretty sure PETA ate some kids. So.
Yep.
Probably.
All right. Here's another one. I think we're running this one back too. I think this is a rerun from last year. It's a rapist stuffing a turkey, apparently, and it says "Stuffer, I hardly know her," and it's just a closer image of his creepy rapist face. Who are these for, Dave? Whose mind is being changed by you guys like raping your food, right?
I think kids, because as Marv from Home Alone said, kids are stupid.
That's right.
So that's who they need. If you're gonna have people that just eat processed vegan crap in the future, then you'll probably need them. Get the young ones.
I'm just saying, I can't even see all that many youngins seeing these images. Like, there's documentaries and things about the treatment of animals in like food farms and all that stuff, and just the awful conditions. That's compelling and that's sad and stuff. And if you show that, it's like, oh, that's sad, but then you still got to make the decision to or not to eat meat. But there's nothing about these rapist memes on Thanksgiving, like flooding my feed on Thanksgiving with, don't you wish you could have sex with the fowl that you're eating? That I just can't see that changing anybody's mind. But what do I know about propaganda? Keep going, PETA. You're doing great. One more from PETA. This is not a meme, so I'll spare you that. But they posted, and not only did they post this, not that, but not only did they post this, but the community note, don't get ahead of me, the community note is probably my favorite community note I've ever read. The post is, your pork was a person, 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 your pork was a person. And then the community note is pig. Just pig. Incorrect. That is incorrect. Your pork was a pig. Thank you, community notes. Here's a guy protesting on the street dressed as a turkey, laying out for Thanksgiving in front of a shopping block. Let's see what he's got going on.
Capital. A man dressed as a turkey spent his lunch hour on a large cutting board in downtown Jackson yesterday. As you might imagine, and as intended, it turned a lot of heads as people passed by the demonstration at East Capitol and North Congress streets. The man remained in place on that cutting board for an hour and a half, dressed head to toe as a Thanksgiving turkey. The PETA supporter said,
I feel like we're using dressed head to toe as a Thanksgiving turkey a little loosely. He put on beige tights and laid on the ground.
As he was trying to make a point.
Turkeys and other animals killed for food feel pain, fear, love, and joy. Yet the billions of them killed for food every single year are confined to crowded, filthy factory farms where it's wall-to-wall misery before a terrifying trip to the slaughterhouse and a violent, painful death.
Melito there hopes to convince people to have a vegan Thanksgiving this year. You can learn more about that on the PETA website.
Thanks, vegan. Thanks, vegan sounds great.
Fuck. I got a theory, dude.
Yeah.
Here it goes. We didn't hear much from that guy, but I did hear something that I agree with. The situation with factory farming is completely and totally fucked.
Sure. Yeah.
On a fucking biblical level. Disgusting. Unholy shit. So that's true. But their answer to that is to put out these ridiculous memes and blah, 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 be out and like just, turn the majority of people off that might be sympathetic to like a message like that. Mm-hmm. But he was also in that video out there passing out flyers. So whether it's PETA or the Libertarian Party, the people who are usually kind of like willing to go do the fucking work that is necessary are all fucking crazy. and they will represent the broader movement or something that could be beautiful and successful and widely accepted into like this weird version of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
So you're saying that the people that do stuff are stupid. Hashtag take human action.
I did stuff. I did stuff. So yeah. So like, there's sure. Like, yeah, maybe. Everybody's got to try some stuff. But that guy's out in the streets passing out flyers, and that's good. And he hates factory farming, and that's good. But you're working for PETA, these crazy maniacs who are just taking the wrong direction every chance they get.
That's right. Now we're gonna move away from PETA a little bit. Here is somebody. John Oberg says, "We are living in a new era of food. Steaks made from plants. The reason to continue eating meat are decreasing by the minute." Let's have a look at these steaks made from plants. Doesn't that look good, Dave? Clearly the reasons for continuing to eat steak when you've got this, I don't know, cardboard organ. The reason to not eat this is just decreasing by the minute, wouldn't you say? These pink meat cookies, don't those do it for you, Dave?
They don't look appetizing, but lots of stuff doesn't look appetizing. That's not even the point, bro. The point is that they want every single thing on this planet to be commoditized and under lock and key, and people to not be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
that's what the thing is. Oh, unlimited healthy stuff without all the shit that comes with factory farming. That'll be how it's sold next. Oh, factory farming is terrible and giving everybody fucking all these diseases. Well, we have a solution. We're going to grow it in this lab, and you can just ask for permission when you want to grow food or have meat, or that's, common. I'm sure Nestle will be a part of that with the beverage section. Nobody will be able to go just have a backyard or have a farm. And yeah, that's fucking terrifying. The libertarian in me doesn't know how to answer that, because if the market wants to do fake meat, it's like, I guess, but that
libertarian in me is dead.
It's
Doesn't give a
Get
shit
that
anymore.
fake meat outta
Get
here.
your
Yeah.
shit out of my face. I'm done. And not only is it like the future of meat they're pushing, it's the current and probably the past of meat for some time, according to this Campbell's Soup employee, like some sort of executive, higher official, had this to say on a leaked audio that came out this week. Did you hear this, Dave, by chance?
Nope.
All right. Well, you're in for a 3D printed treat.
We have shit for fucking poor people. Who buys our shit? People are fucking stupid. I don't buy fucking products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
A new lawsuit filed.
That's that. He also went on to make some disparaging comments about Indians being stupid. I don't know how that even plays in, but he's like, poor people are stupid and Indians are stupid. Why are they eating this? I don't know if there's a big Indian market for Campbell's Soup. I didn't know that was a thing. It seems more of a poor whites market to me. But this guy, some are championing him as a hero, but I don't think he's a hero. I think he would be a hero if he came out and said that intentionally in the public instead of having to be recorded privately and leaking it, saying that he wouldn't feed that dog shit to his children. We make shit for poor people. It's 3D printed bioengineered garbage. Not my words, his. I mean, look into the validity of it if you want, but many people have reported this as actually being a Campbell's executive. And it sounds like he must have, I don't know, recently been moved to that position or gotten to a level where he could look behind the fake meat curtains, if you will. And
and that should have been the title for the day. Fuck, put that on the card.
And found out exactly how much plastics were in their meat products. But I don't know. I grew up pretty poor, but I never thought of, I heard like Tim Pool talking about Campbell's, and he was like, nobody eats that shit anyway. Who eats Campbell's? Like, we eat the good stuff. That is like the poor, cheaper shit. I'm like, I never thought of Campbell's. I haven't eaten Campbell's in a very long time, but it was always good to me. Maybe that was when they still had chicken in their chicken, but I don't know. What do you think about this, Dave?
Well, I love the story. I think that I wouldn't call him a hero, but I love that happened. And it is true, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm sure in the 80s things were different, but the tobacco companies in the 80s definitely took over a bunch of food companies. Kraft food they bought up, and a bunch of like the shit food companies.
Yeah. And
they made them addictive and high in salt, high in sugar, high in fat, all that shit, all the chemical crap. So I am I'm just tickled that information is out there from an executive. If that's legit, it just confirms what everybody knows about executives that, would go ahead and sell shitty products to millions of people, but never touch themselves.
Yep. That's
pretty crazy. Like, if I'm going to be a salesman, I want to sell shit that I really believe in and love.
Sure.
And that just kind of exposes something, and that's good.
I mean, even Steve Jobs said he wouldn't give his kids an iPad because he knew it was addicting. But, especially when it comes to consuming of food, knowing that the people that are like championing this as the food to eat, like this is your whole thing, is saying, buy our food, it's good and good for you. And they're like, behind the scenes, they're like, no, we wouldn't even eat it ourselves because it's trash. And we just know that you guys will gobble it up because it's cheap. But speaking of 3D printed things, we got to talk about Brylan Hollihand, who came out with his Thanksgiving message. And I just felt the need to share this because I've seen, like, there's been a lot of boomer AI generated videos, and mostly not made by boomers so much as I think to trick boomers into thinking that they're real, like puppy saves a tiger cub from a tree or something, like just the fakest shit. And you go through the comments and it's a bunch of boomers being like, oh, I can't believe he made it out of that alive. But I've gotten a lot of that in my feed lately, and I've gotten a lot of like political stuff where it's like Donald Trump trips Joe Biden, and Joe Biden falls in a bush and gets McDonald's dropped on his head. Ha ha ha. And it was, it's just a mess. But we do have this definitely not, my point being, all of those, for all that boomer slop that you've seen out there, none of it seems as fake as Brylan Hollyhand's existence entirely. Here's his Thanksgiving wish to you.
What's up, America? Let me tell you the real Thanksgiving story that the woke indoctrination in your schools didn't teach you. It actually explains a lot about why some of the same ideas fail every single time. You see, when the Pilgrims arrived, they didn't start with freedom. They actually tried a full-on socialist system. Everything that was grown or made went into this large community pile, and everyone got the same share, no matter how much they worked to produce it. Think of this like some massive group project in your class, where the grade is the same for every single person in the group, regardless of how much work they actually put into the assignments. We all know how that goes. What happens? Well, the people who actually grind and do the work, they get burned out. The people who don't, well, they keep on not working and sitting their fanny on the couch. That's exactly what happened when the Pilgrims tried to settle America. And guys, the colony almost collapsed. The nation that you're happily eating turkey and stuffing in today almost wasn't the same America. Governor Bradford made a bold call. He ended the system. He said socialism sucks. He gave every single family their own land. You work, you eat, you're productive, you succeed. In other words, he switched from socialism to free enterprise. What you earned is what you got. There were no handouts. And instantly, every single thing changed. People worked harder because it mattered. Food production exploded. Cooperation went up, not down. And guys, for the very first time, the colony had so much food, they could actually celebrate a feast of abundance and invite the Native Americans. So
Wake up!
The very first ever
Wraith O'Houlihan is
we're all
talking.
celebrating. So what's
Pardon
the moral
my disrespect.
of this story? Well, TikTok influencers and Zoran Mamdani aren't the first ones with this novel concept to try socialism. Our founding fathers, the real ones, the Pilgrims, actually tried it first, and it failed. And thankfully, they were smart enough to move away from it early, and that's how America stood the test of time for 250 years. Don't fall back into the lie and trap that handouts are the solution. They're the answer to collapse. Happy Thanksgiving, my friends, and remember that capitalism is the reason that you're able to enjoy this wonderful meal today. And socialism, well, it still sucks.
Oh, got him. Got him. I don't know about you, Dave, but if I was a young lad growing up right now in today's day and age and I heard Brian O'Houlihan, or whatever his stupid fucking name is, saying, hey guys, capitalism's good and socialism is not good, and I just wanted to stand out here on this nice pretty dock to let you know that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior in capitalism, and vote Republican. And it's so... I didn't think it was possible, but this kid's going to make me become a socialist just because of his sales pitch for capitalism being so white, I guess. I don't know. What do you think about this, Dave? Am I overreacting?
No, it's awesome. And yeah, what the hell are you doing? Who put you here? Hey, guys, it's me, Blythe O'Houlihan.
Literally, where did he come from? Just emerged from Charlie Kirk's shadows.
I'm on Tucker Carlson's back porch to talk to you today about socialism and why it doesn't work.
Yeah, for all of the people that were like, is Tucker Carlson fake? Is Nick Fuentes fake? Is Elon Musk fake? It's like, I don't even have to ask, man. This kid was made in a lab. He's faker than the Thanksgiving meats that PETA wants you to eat. And he's just out there like, hello, fellow children. Would you like to hear about capitalism? And it's like, how do you make capitalism sound so gay, man? Just stop. And is it like... We talked about last week, Skillet and the Christian backlash, the conservative backlash to Skillet making a metal Christian Christmas song by a Christian band, and they're like, that's evil. It's like, now we wanted Donald Trump to bring back a little bit of like the conservatism of yesteryear, like let's not all be degenerates in the street, perhaps, but again, it just feels like we're gonna over course correct, and I've been warning about it ever since it started to become cool again. Like, don't over course correct and go back to, hello kids, I'm a youth pastor, I'm a future Lindsey Graham that's here to tell you about our Lord and Savior Israel, and you should have a happy capitalism Thanksgiving. Zoran Mamdani is a better propagandist than Brian, whatever his name is. Brylan. I don't even know his first name, but
Brythe. It's a THE, Brythe. It's a silent H.
So my theory is that before they decided Charlie Kirk's time was done and they were going to remove him from the spotlight forcibly, they went to their lab where Charlie Kirk was cooked up and just grabbed one of the other Charlie Kirks off the shelf, shook it up and put it out there, and they're like, we're out of time, man. Charlie Kirk's starting to become sentient and think for himself, and he's starting to question some things. So, what's this one say? Shouldn't it be Bry? That's not even just put it out. Who gives a shit? Like, the kids will love it. They'll love this.
Just go.
Just let him go.
Half-baked, but just go. No, man, that proves, I mean, he obviously came from a lab, and they're trying to make an influencer out of him, but it can't just be anybody. People usually, except the retards, you can smell bullshit. And obviously you can smell bullshit in this guy, or just like inexperience or whatever. But not everybody can be Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes or Candace or, just like the best. You have to be good at being an orator.
Yeah.
And like engaging, not just endorsed by TPUSA or whoever wants to right.
Brought to you
can't
by
just
APAC.
be sponsored. Right.
Yep. Speaking of retards, Steve Jackson says, "Hey, nose ring, you are a useless parasite on this earth." Thank you, you, Steve Jackson, and a happy Thanksgiving to you too, sir. Anyway, speaking of more retards and kids made in a lab, let's see. This kid
Was that a Brythe O'Houlihan fan? Who the fuck was that?
It was. Yeah.
You better stop talking shit about my boy, motherfuckers. With your nose ring.
Yep. Oh, now he's calling me gay. Thanks for being here. Hey,
It's
now you're banned. It's been a long time since I've had to ban somebody, but if you're just going to come in and be a dick because I have facial piercings. Man, Brylan, you could do better. Brylan, your kids are getting out of hand here. But
he's got an army behind him.
He's got what would Brylan's army be called? The
Brylan's Brigade.
Okay. All right, hold on. That deserves something. Quick on the draw, Dave. Quick on the
confetti ready, bro.
Draw.
You got to be able to pew.
All right. Anyway, here is another, I guess, future conservative influencer we're supposed to believe that is going to change hearts and minds. And let's see. This is my son's song might offend you. This is a song.
First off, there's only two genders. All you pink-haired demons gotta do better. I'm a boy, so I rock a blue sweater. I hate to break the news, all you dudes are too tender. And why the heck they got these demons in the classroom? Drag show, story time, they don't get it past, dude. Yeah, I don't wanna face the music, this the sad truth. Our country's a mess, don't wanna say it, but I have to. If someone doesn't take a stand, then we cooked. The devil telling lies, man, and everybody hooked. Get mad, get your lick back, and take what he took. And you know I'm spitting truth, I just take it from the book. Most boys my age, they lack guidance. But I'ma be a David, I'ma stand up to the giant. Boys can't be girls, cause that defies science. I can't go the way of the world, won't even try it. I won't buy what they selling me, won't listen when they telling me that I am just a kid. I won't listen to your jealousy. Look, I know that I'm killing all these melodies. I should be in jail for telling truth, where's my felony? Don't listen to the lies that they feed you. Like all these genders, it doesn't exceed two. You got a life to live and you don't get a redo. Everybody fine and they lying, I'ma speak truth. First off.
All right. Dave, hip hop.
Shit on this kid's dreams, bro. Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna throw it to you first, Dave, as a hip hop connoisseur yourself and somebody with a history. Banger, right? Banger.
Yeah, man. I want to give it up to the stage mom who's running his TikTok and holding the iPhone, recording it. Yep. Check out my son's rapper. He might offend you because he's the realest nigga from the street. It's funny.
Yep.
Keep going, dude. You got your good start. You got some high production value there, and keep going.
He doesn't, but yeah.
Keep going, bro.
Song's trash, bro. Do better. I get it. You're saying things that you're not supposed to say, and that's edgy. You can try and be tiny Tom McDonald, but Tom McDonald seems to be struggling for relevance right now. No offense to Tom, but he went a little too right wing, and then the right wing went a little too retarded. And then you're stuck.
Right.
So
you got a song with Ben Shapiro, motherfucker. You know, that's a good point, dude.
Yep.
That's a really good point. Don't get pigeonholed too early.
Yeah, and especially when, like, I mean, I'm sure he's heard his dad talk about these themes or whatever, and he's like, I'm going to write this down. And then his parents were all stoked about it because he's taking a stand or something like that. It's like he's also painting a giant target on his back for a trash song that isn't going to change anybody's mind. Like, yeah, I don't want to shit on him too much because you're trying to do something. I just want to know what it is you're trying to do. Is it to make a song, or is it to get attention because you said the edgy thing that you're not supposed to say? Like, well, those edgy things that you're not supposed to say are getting kind of played out already, and it's not gonna. Once you get to a certain age, it's not going to have the payoff that you're going to get right now, just because, like, he's getting a giant pass right now. If one of the other, like, bigger MAGA guys, or if Tom McDonald put out these words, everybody would be like, all right, bro, that's really pathetic and not very good. But whatever.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, Lil Romeo got away with shit. So did Lil Bow Wow. You can, like, have rhymes that are, like, whack, but, like, okay, for a 12-year-old, he speed hoot fire.
Sure.
But, no, the funny part is that, I think, from me, because of the title right above the video. Look at my son's TikTok. You might be offended. I just think that's funny that the new stage mom is like trying to get their kid like a viral TikTok video, like
by throwing their child to the wolves. Like, hey guys, get pissed off at my child. Go.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, but don't use your kid as a human shield for your political agenda. That's valid.
Yep, something gross about it to me. Speaking of gross, let's talk about Ben Shapiro. There's not much to say about Ben Shapiro these days, but I want to bring up Nick Fuentes just for a minute. We're not going to spend a lot of time on him, but briefly, Ben Shapiro had this to say about Nick Fuentes, and I thought it was noteworthy and a bit humorous.
If you listen to Nick Fuentes, you are likely to be a loser. He is a loser. He is a basement-dwelling, ridiculous loser who spends his days.
And Ben Shapiro doesn't have a thesaurus. If you listen to him, you're a loser. He's a loser. He's a basement-dwelling loser.
Ranting on the internet to a bunch of other basement dwellers. Don't be one of those people. You don't have to be that. You can actually go get a job. You can get married. You can have a girlfriend. You can actually,
thank you, Ben,
make something of yourself in this world. And it was really funny. There's one point where actually Tucker made some sort of disparaging reference to Fuentes about this when he was doing an interview with another delightful person, Candace Owens. And in the middle of this interview, he sort of made a disparaging remark about Fuentes. And Fuentes went right back at him and said, you know, you're insulting the basement dwellers, Tucker. Those are your people. Like, you said they were your people, but actually you scorn them. Here's the thing. Nobody should scorn people who are unsuccessful in life when they don't know better. But it's our job to teach them to know better, right? It is not good. If you listen to Nick Fuentes, there is no way your life gets markedly better. In fact, it gets markedly worse. If you listen to the life prescriptions of Andrew Tate, your life will get worse, not better.
That's probably
you will
fair,
end up alone, joyless, with no purpose in life. You will end up not being very wealthy. You'll have made him wealthy by giving him your money, by being grifted upon. And if we don't make that aggressive case on behalf of our own values, and yes, against those values, and not in a shy way, then we deserve to lose.
I agree with one thing, Ben. I agree with that very last part. But I don't... Yeah, there's not a ton here. He's just like, well, Nick Fuentes is a loser. He's a loser. He's a loser. And if you listen to him, your life will get worse. Just to say that with such definitive confidence, no matter where you are in life, what your background, what your beliefs are, if you just listen to Nick Fuentes, your life gets worse. And if you, I mean, I do agree with him on that. If you apply Andrew Tate's like rules for life to your life will probably get worse, and you will probably end up alone because you're not Andrew Tate. But yeah, just this, for Ben Shapiro, who barely gets, like, he seems pretty desperate on Twitter lately. Like, he's trying to revive his relevance. He's putting out like shorter, quippier clips and stuff. Like, hey kids, listen to me. I'm still doing this thing, and I'm still relevant. And then for him to come out and be like, this guy is just a big old loser, and he provides no benefit, no value to the world. He's just a loser, and anybody who listens to him is a loser. They don't have any arguments for the arguments, as you can see. And I'm going to bring up next some of my arguments with Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes, there's just something about Nick Fuentes lately, and Nick Fuentes' rise sudden explosion from you're banned from the public sphere to you are on all of the platforms that it seems a little shady. But it wouldn't rub me nearly as wrong if he didn't keep saying things that don't sound like anything Nick Fuentes has ever stood for. Like just slipping in, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, he was like, well, we need to unite with the left, and the left is going to like close the borders. They're going to agree that we need closed borders, and the right's going to agree that we don't have free markets. We don't have open markets at all. No, screw capitalism. It's like, well, that's not at all what got Nick Fuentes his rise to power initially. But lately, he's been having a lot of these clips come out because he's been doing all these different interviews, so a lot more people are paying attention to him and being like, wait, that doesn't check out, and here's his latest.
Would you make Bitcoin the U.S. currency?
No. I believe in fiat money, generally.
Would you make it legal tender?
Probably not.
Would you make Bitcoin the U.S. currency?
That's it. Just no. And I could pull up more, but I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. But if you look into a lot of the clips of Nick Fuentes as of late, he's just been, I don't know. It feels to me like early stage Trump 2025, like the early stages of where we are now, where it's like, oh, I'm your guy, your guy, and then start saying some things that are like, wait, that doesn't really make sense, but you still agree that we should, audit this and do that. Yeah, we'll get to that. And then it comes out and Trump becomes like about faces on almost literally everything. And he's pro-war and pro-Epstein and all that fun stuff. But it just feels like they're setting Nick Fuentes up for something similar where it's like, see, now he's the real outsider. We got the most outsider of all the outsiders. And then he just exploded overnight. And now he's running for president in 2028, and suddenly everybody thinks Nick Fuentes is this rebel that needs to be praised and followed no matter what he says because it's cult mentality shit, and all politics is cult personality. And then he starts saying things like, we need to get rid of Bitcoin, or we need to not have free markets or free trade, or we need more socialism to appease the Democrats and be more pragmatic because power is everything and blah, blah, blah. Just it feels like a setup to me, Dave. Am I wrong?
Oh, you certainly have reason to be suspect because he definitely has some, he's not on my top watch list right now, but he's expressed Fed-like behavior in the past. It was funny when Tucker said he thought he was a Fed. Yeah. And his fans can be terrible. And he has said some shit that is terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with it. So even though Ben Shapiro comes out like a complete asshole and has wanted to destroy this guy for a long time and tried, in fact, as soon as when he was like a teenager, it makes me like, I wish that Nick hasn't said the 5 or 6 things that are like, oh, bro, I can't just be totally on board with you. I can't give you the stamp of approval because you've said these things that are just so antithetical to my worldview. So, but I get why, like you said, dude, it's the cult mentality that like they build up the trust in the brand first, and then once you're in and you bought in to the cult. And by the way, some cults are good. If you get a lot out of your cults, good for you. I don't care. I'm not anti-cult. I'm just saying cults can get you to do shit that you might not otherwise have done if you're not like solid up here.
Dave
so
Casey,
lots of the fans
actively not anti-cult.
I'm not anti-cult. If you're getting a lot out of it, it's good for you and it's positive for people around you. Stay in the cult. But
it's not.
If you
they're not,
find your community, embrace them, get some shit done. I don't know, but yeah, Nick Fuentes. I can't give the full endorsement because even though I want to, Ben Shapiro is so terrible.
Yeah. Now I can't, and I'm not going to because like the more it's like every time I hear like, oh, that's a fun clip that he put out where he said a zinger that got that guy good. Oh yeah, and then you hear another one the next day, and it's like, wait, that's not the same thing at all. But whatever. Just keep an eye on him. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's worth noting too, real quick, that Tucker and he are both kind of protectionists. Like I think Tucker said things like he would, to protect like trucking from automation and AI and things, like he would pass laws to protect the truckers and things like that. So it's like, and you can make that argument. It's fine. It's just like, it's not all free market free trade ideas from.
Well, neither of them claim to be libertarian or anything, but
exactly.
if they're being anti-free market and anti-free trade, then we might have an issue. So, something to keep an eye on. That's all. Keep an eye on influencers. And, there was a trend going around this last week when Twitter unlocked the ability to see the locations of certain Twitter accounts. And then the world was all up in arms, or the Twitter world, which is very small, was all up in arms because some people who had expressed opinions in American politics that these people disagreed with happened to not be from America. And to report more on this story is everyone's favorite, most trustworthy influencer, Dave Reuben.
Oh, I'm absolutely shocked. It turns out that half of the people that you follow on Twitter are foreign agents and bots and trolls and other assorted awful things. I, however, double-checked this morning, I am American. I tweet from America, and I live in the free state of Florida. We're doing a show in 2 minutes. Tune in.
Got him. Dang. With the spicy truths, that Dave Reuben. I used to like him. I used to listen to him pretty frequently, actually. Yeah, but I don't care where you're from. Is the information valid information or is it invalid information? If there's an influencer from Australia who often says, I noticed that this is happening in your politics. I don't care that he's from Australia. I don't care that Australia is more of a shithole than America is. From what I hear. I don't know. I've never been. But I've never been, so I can't talk about it. I don't care where you're based out of. I care that you are based and that you're telling me the truth and giving me the right information. And it's been proven time and time again that Dave Reuben, from America as he may be, is not giving us the right information, so I don't care. I do have another clip on Dave Reuben that ties well into this, but you got any thoughts on that before we move on, Dave?
No, he was cool once for a little bit. And then became incredibly uncool. And he wants to live in a world where he can purchase babies. So
always comes back to that.
we're not on the same level.
Yeah, it is a little strange. Like, I have to question why now. Why did we decide now that the Twitter was going to show everybody where everybody was from, and then all of a sudden everybody, like all the right-wing conservative people, are like, this is a win for us because, see, we're all from America and you're not from America, so you're telling lies. I don't know.
I do love it. I do love that part, though. And I know, like, it's not perfect. People can use VPNs and stuff like that. But no, I really agree with you. It's about what you're saying. But if there's like and I'm cool with anonymous accounts as well. But if there's an anonymous account from fucking, Romania or France or Jabip, I don't care. And you're constantly cranking out, pro military industrial complex shit, pro foreign narrative shit, anti American shit. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about just poking the bear over here. Yeah. Like we should absolutely be able to see that, call that out. Fuck you.
I agree.
Mind your business. Worry about your own shithole country.
I mean, it's up to the only thing. Yeah, I don't care. Personally, I do think it's better to have transparency typically, but why did Twitter decide like nobody can go anonymously through their stuff anymore? I just feel like there's a reason why now, and it probably has something to do with a certain side losing abysmally in the information war, and they're like, well, what do we got? Well, I've noticed that guy actually isn't from here, so let him have that ammo. But whatever, let's instead of that watch Dave Reuben having Piers Morgan on his show. Did you see this clip, Dave?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I'll read Clint Russell's post first because that sets this up nicely. He says, "B. Dave Smith, do 20 guest spots on Piers Morgan, get challenged to a debate by Dave Reuben, except have Dave Reuben run away, let Piers Morgan win the debate for you." Ever seen a debate won by surrogate? Now you have. So he's claiming that basically Dave Smith won this debate by proxy after Dave Reuben refused to have this debate with Dave Smith. But Dave Smith has been on Piers Morgan so many times that Piers Morgan took everything that Dave Smith said to him and laid it on Dave Reuben for him. So here's a bit of that.
You acknowledge that there's been no starvation, correct?
No.
You don't acknowledge
I don't acknowledge that.
Where are the videos and images of the starving Gazans?
Well, I've seen a lot, but you would dismiss them all as fakes. The UN says there was starvation, but you guys don't believe a word the UN says. The other official bodies say there was starvation. You don't want to hear a word they say. Israel denies everything. You can say that no Gazan has starved at all. The reports by almost every official body say the opposite, but you don't believe them. However, the best way to get to the truth is let journalists who are used to covering in war zones, let them go in and do their job, particularly now we have the ceasefire. There is a reason the Israeli government is not letting the media in. They are terrified about what the world will uncover.
I just think that's just...
Well, let them in.
I just think...
There's one way to find out.
A lot of them look fat. They have fresh clothes
I've
and
seen
fresh
lots
haircuts.
of images of Palestinians looking hungry.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dispute that 20,000 plus children have died, right?
So whose fault is that? I mean...
You don't honestly think that life for a young Palestinian kid in Gaza in the last 2 years has been anything but utter helldy. I do believe the 3-month blockade earlier this year was a criminal blockade. I believe it was deliberate starvation of a people, deliberately denying them food and aid. If you
has any other country in the history of the world been told to feed the people that are killing it?
If you look at the Geneva Convention, actually, but then no other country in the world has had the control that Israel has over Gaza, right?
Well,
which again is a whole separate issue. Show me another moment in the 75-year conflict where the response has been to kill 60 times as many people, and where you have well, hang on, let me finish. Where you have a government with people like Smodrich and Ben-Gvir who begin publicly, openly talking about ethnically cleansing all the Palestinians from Gaza, about annexing the West Bank, about taking complete control of all of it, to the point that Donald Trump had to step in and say that is not happening.
Random ministers
well, they're
talking,
not random
talking
ministers.
about...
They're not
but
two of the
they
most
are.
senior people in the government.
No, but them talking about things is different. I mean,
I hear that a lot. Well, my point is this. You have a unique population in Gaza where half of them are under 18. There is a unique proportion of kids in this part of the world, right? So at what point do you try and find a different way to resolve this? The only solution that seemed to be being offered by Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, Smodrich and the others was to raise Gaza to the floor and to expel all Palestinians.
So,
Netanyahu would annex West Bank tomorrow.
He's been in power for 20-something years. He could have done it any point. Notice he hasn't. I mean...
Come on.
No, but there's a couple things here. I mean, first off, I don't think any country in the world has ever been asked to feed the people that are holding its hostage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever called for any other country to do that, or anyone?
Well, okay,
has anyone ever called for that?
Well, British prisoners of war in World War II were fed.
Yeah. But
what's the difference?
Yeah, but
what?
Prisoners of war in World War II were fed. So what's the difference?
Because they were holding hostages. They're holding their people. I mean, to me, it seems that you as a British
people
citizen...
being held hostage in Nazi prison. The Israeli government, which is a hard-right government, Smodrich and Ben-Gvir are not just right-wing, they're absolute far-right headbangers.
But meaning what? Meaning what? They have to
meaning what? They want to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people. Come on, Dave, they do.
They're in the government and they haven't taken an extra inch of the West Bank. They haven't, they're not...
Well,
no
actually,
one's
that's
taking,
not true.
It's just like one propaganda point after another. Reuben is just going down the list of, wait, but what about this? What about that? I've said this 1,000 times on Twitter. I've said got that in the script, and Piers Morgan's just like, bam, 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 knocking them down.
They've been expanding settlements left, right, and centre.
They haven't.
Yes, they have.
Piers,
you know they have.
Piers, have you been to the West Bank?
You don't think
have
there've
you been to
any
the West Bank?
settlements on the West Bank?
They build apartments.
I forgot that. He even resorts to, have you ever been to the West Bank? If not, then you're not an expert, and you're not allowed to talk about it.
They build apartments in current places.
Has there been an aggressive expansion of settlements in the West Bank in this war?
An aggressive expansion of settlements
in the West Bank during this war?
No, 100% no.
Dave, there has been. You see everything to the prism of... There's nothing to see here, Gus.
No.
Israel has done no wrong.
No.
Have they done any wrong?
I don't know how to conduct a war exactly,
but
I know that if
it's not my question. Has the Israeli government done anything wrong in the way they prosecuted this war?
Not that I know of.
Well, this war didn't start on October the 7th. This is a conflict that's been on for 7 decades.
Bro, that was a hate crime.
That was an assault. He had more of a case than Jussie Smollett for having been attacked right there. Obviously that was cut up. That wasn't all just one conversation being knocked out there. But just pointing out all the different things that Dave Smith has said many, many times, and many of smarter people than us have said many, many times, and we've repeated them many, many times. And but yeah, just I mean, all the way down to have you ever been? And yeah, I don't know. It was brutal. And I had
Look,
another
man,
point, but it's gone.
there's
Go ahead.
only one country in the Middle East where Dave Rubin can purchase a baby, and that's Israel. So if you want to take that away from him, I don't know what that says about you, but
are you gonna deplete his lineage, Dave?
Fucked up.
Yeah. So according to Dave Rubin, Israel has done nothing wrong in this war. As far as he can tell, there's no starvation, no foul play, none of that. And he's like, there's no evidence of starvation. And Piers Morgan's like, there's a bunch of pictures. I've seen lots of pictures, but I'm sure you're going to tell me that those are all fake. I mean, they would have to be if you're claiming that there's no starvation, because I've done several videos on this topic now. There's a lot of pictures out there. There's a lot of pictures and a lot of video. And if you're telling me that they're all fake, then I'm telling you that you're crazier than somebody who believes that man did not land on the moon, because there's less pictures of man landing on the moon, less real ones, than there are of people starving in Gaza. And even, in that he gets to the point where he's, just like, they've done nothing wrong. As far as I can tell, they've done nothing wrong, because my head has been entirely up my ass for the last 2 years or 20 years or whatever. And even if you're like a free Palestine from the river to the sea and hardcore Democrat enthusiast, whatever, just going along with that, like pro-Hamas even, I don't feel like even the most staunch pro-Hamas Democrat is like, yeah, Hamas has done nothing wrong, as far as I can tell. Like, obviously, both sides have done wrong things, and you can say that your side is the better side who has done fewer wrong things, but to be like, I haven't seen Israel do anything wrong. It's like, just tell me that you're bought and paid for without telling me that you're bought and paid for, Dave Rubin.
maybe you didn't hear the part about the hostages, Dan. There are hostages.
Oh.
Okay.
As in like hostages of war type situation?
In a normal war, you wouldn't feed.
You don't
feed your
feed
hostages.
POWs. Like, you starve them. Well, that's a crime also, Dave. So if they're not feeding POWs, that's a war crime as well. Just beautiful and ridiculous, because it's just every single thing that the propaganda will have you, every single thing that they've tried. Dave Rubin lined it up, and Piers Morgan, not being any kind of extremist or anything, you can watch Piers Morgan also call Nick Fuentes a despicable Nazi and stuff. Like, he's not like this Dave Smith type fellow. He's just come along this journey on this story with Dave Smith and been like, okay, yep, that makes a lot more sense, and that seems a whole lot more like reality than what the media is telling us. So good on him for sticking to it and being right on that, at least. I'm not claiming that Piers Morgan's the end-all be-all, much like I'm not claiming that Tucker Carlson is entirely on the up and up either. But
it is worth noting, because only you and I and like our small niche audience will know that the reason that Piers Morgan just eviscerated that fucking warmonger baby purchaser is because Scott Horton filtered down everything he knows through Dave Smith to him, and this is like a really cool piece of blowback. Yep. Like, it's just like over time he's been convinced.
It's true. Scott Horton deserves a lot of credit for Piers Morgan's current stance on.
He does. He actually does, and that's fucking cool to see. I bet you Scott Horton knows that. He probably saw that clip and was like, "My nigga." Like, he knows. It's awesome.
Yep. Well, that's a naughty word you said there, Dave. Speaking of naughty words, let's talk about Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson had Piers Morgan on his show. And I didn't watch the whole thing, and I'm not going to, because I don't really care. But I saw this clip, and I thought it was worth a share and a discussion.
Elizabeth Kinney from Tranmere. Have you heard about this? Go on. She's a mother of 4. I think she's a nurse, and she gets beaten up by her boyfriend. He beats her up. She goes to the hospital. And she texts someone, a buddy of hers, a friend of hers, a girlfriend of hers, and describes the man who beat her up and sent her to the hospital as a, quote, faggot. He's a faggot. Mm-hmm. And she's arrested and convicted of a hate crime. The guy who beat her up is not arrested or convicted. And then she goes through this whole kabuki, which is now required, where she prostrates herself before the judge. I'm sorry, it was not a homophobic rant. By the way, you're allowed to be homophobic if you want in a free country. You can have any view you want. But no, because she used the word faggot, she's arrested, and the guy who punched her in the face was not. That story tells you everything.
Well, I don't know that story. If it's exactly
Daily Mail, baby.
Okay.
Pictures of her and everything.
I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying I need to look into it. But if that is how you've told it, obviously it's ridiculous.
Would you say the word faggot on camera?
No.
Why?
Because
you don't want to get arrested, do you?
It doesn't want to be arrested.
Because it's so harmful to people?
No.
Is that like gay bashing? What's wrong with that?
No, actually, my whole issue with the whole trans debate, for example, is you don't need to slide into actually saying derogatory stuff about trans people to make the point that women's rights should be protected. You don't need to.
Well, I agree.
So what? I don't believe.
No, but it's a magic word.
I don't believe in needlessly sneering.
Well, I'm not smearing anybody. I just think.
But why would you use that word?
Faggot?
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah, but would you
faggot,
use
faggot.
Okay, but why?
And I'm using it because you're not allowed to, because you're.
I'm allowed to.
Go ahead.
I don't want to.
Say, I love gay people. Faggot.
I'm allowed to. I just choose not to.
This chick just got arrested for it and convicted.
Right.
So that doesn't have a chilling effect on your ability to.
Look, there are people watching this who will be offended by the use of the word
I'm sure they
chick.
will. I'm not anti-gay. I never have been. I can use any freaking word I want.
Offended by the use of the word chick.
Chick. Okay, whatever.
How dare you be so sexist comparing women to chicks?
How about this? Let my life, the way that I actually live and treat people, be the testament to my heart. That's how I feel.
All right. Lots of good sound clips there that'll definitely be used in the future. But any thoughts on that one, Dave? Girl gets beat up by her boyfriend and she calls him a faggot and she goes to jail for it.
Oh, man. And you know that the terrible thing about that is I moved right on from that part and totally forgot about it and was just thinking about how powerful the word faggot is. And he touched on that. Like, it does, because most people won't say it or can't say it or fear saying it or whatever, it has power.
Yeah.
And you can once again, like Eminem used to use it. He won't probably use it now because he's got a trans kid. But back in the day, you could use it not to disparage gay people, but to strip a man of his manhood with the word. And now you can do it, and it's got 10 times more power because you're not allowed to say it. It's not culturally, it's not popping up in like your average rated R movie or like, American Pie or something like that anymore. So
it's out of the zeitgeist entirely, as they would like it to be. It is completely an unacceptable word. So, and not only is it unacceptable, it's outlawed in some countries, like where Piers Morgan is from, clearly. And so, yeah, once you outlaw a word, it doesn't make it go away. It gives it infinitely more power because you're not allowed to say that. Well, fuck you, faggot.
Now, here's the problem with that, and this is coming from somebody who loves to throw that word out from time to time when it's necessary. But you will have, just like this is the thread line between this in this episode. Good ideas still have people in the fringe that will fuck shit up, fuck up your message, and that will there will be a pendulum swing with this if you don't let people just naturally just toss it out from time to time, casually. It will become
a faggot release valve. Is that what you're saying?
Right, like it will be weaponized, and like people will use it to disparage gay people, and like there will be a reaction to obviously this whole fucking the LGBTQ plus madness of the past decade is just like triggered people. So you're gonna see more of it. Like you just can't put a word away. I like powerful words. So if you can use that to fucking smash somebody, I say do it, but just sparingly, like the C word. You don't just call every fucking Karen a C word. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, Dave.
When it's right.
You're like, it's so sacred. I'm reserving it for just the right time so much. I'm not even going to say it right now.
I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it right now. It's not worth it.
Yep. And we're going to talk about apparently Donald Trump had a Thanksgiving tweet where he called Tim Walz a retard. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But before we do, let's take a quick break and hear from Lone Star Injury Attorney.
The great William Shakespeare once said, "First thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers." That's right. It is common knowledge that literally no one in the known universe actually likes lawyers. That is, until they're saving your ass. Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys is a professional ass saver. A rare breed, though he be a lawyer, he is indeed a principled libertarian, a defender of the injured and downtrodden, a supportive, faithful Downers Club member, my personal favorite, and a shockingly kind and hospitable fellow at an award-winning personal injury law firm. So if you've been injured on the job in an automobile accident or some other form of cattywampus beyond your personal control, visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or just Google Max the Axe for maximum results. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Go with the pros at LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered.
And we are back. And before we get to retarded Tim Walz, we got to ease our way into Donald Trump. We haven't talked about him enough yet. But we've got a few things to bring up on the Trump train here. First, before we get to that, did you hear about this shooting? There was a guy who had like ties as an asset to the CIA who shot up the U.S. Capitol and killed some National Guard troops. Did you hear about that, Dave?
I did hear about that.
Yeah, that's about all I know so far, except for what we're going to be getting into. But there's not a lot to this story so far, but mostly, actually, Trump's comments on it that we'll get to in just a minute are the most interesting. But Andy No reports the Afghan migrant and father of 5 accused of ambushing 2 National Guard troops in the U.S. Capitol was brought into the country by the Biden administration because of his prior work with the CIA and U.S. government. He drove to D.C. from Washington State. Some people have pointed out, says, breaking searches for whatever his name is, Ramanullah Lakhanawal, whatever. The Afghan national accused in the Washington, D.C. National Guard shooting saw unused surges in the D.C. region in November 20th, 6 days prior to the November 26th incident, and repeatedly on the morning of the assault itself. This is the same thing that happened with Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs prior to the Charlie Kirk assassination. So there was upticks in searches for this guy's name, and this one didn't say, the upticks on his name, which is a very specific name. So if you're looking for him, you know him, and you have plans to know him. But also upticks in Google searches on one of the National Guard members that got shot, the name Sarah Beckstrom, the National Guard member murdered by Afghan CIA asset in D.C., was Googled by someone in Israel 4 days before the shooting. It's a little bit weird that she was Googled by anyone in Israel 4 days before the shooting. I mean, that's not a whole lot of proof of any ties there, but it is. You're going to start seeing more of this happening, looking like we didn't hear much of it up until some recent cases like the Charlie Kirk thing on these Google searches and things. But now that we've gotten to the point where we can see where Twitter accounts are from, we can see how much search results have been, how many times people looked up the very common name of Lakhanawal. I guess this guy was a CIA asset to some extent from Afghanistan. If that's not suspicious enough for you, let's go ahead and get from Donald Trump what we should think about this guy just going a little bit crazy.
U.S. officials say that the suspect worked very closely with the CIA in Afghanistan for years, that he was vetted, and the vetting came up clean.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens, too. It happens too often with these people. You see him. But I'm
going to pause just for a second there. Is Donald Trump talking about MK Ultra triggering there, Dave? Or am I just a crazy conspiracy theorist? Because it sounds like he's talking about MK Ultra triggering CIA assets. Sometimes they just go cuckoo, they just go nuts, they don't know why it happens. But sometimes, you just say a word like follow the white rabbit and suddenly they're shooting up a school. I don't know what it is. Something about these crazy Afghanistans. It's probably their brown skin. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, didn't Jack Ruby lose his mind while in jail too? I don't know. This happens, I suppose.
It does.
As soon as I saw,
all too often, as Trump says, all too often this happens.
As soon as I saw the headline, and I didn't do any research into this, but as soon as I saw that 2 National Guardsmen were taken out in D.C.,
mm-hmm.
I'm already starting backwards from, why was there a hit placed on these 2 National Guards people?
Sure.
Not oh, some crazed gunman just happened to like be in D.C.
Or what was the message they were trying to send, or the propaganda that they were trying to push, or the agenda that they were trying to force down our throats.
It's just so tight. Like, of course, here's this national. Like, that's what they need. They need people off the books.
Yeah.
So that they can be. What was 9/11? A bunch of Saudi nationals, a couple of Libyan nationals, I think, were in there. Off the books, off the grid, people that they can do what they want. And I think that person made a note about the supposed Zimmerman shooter. And I've read some stuff about, how that kid might have been. They need to like sometimes disappear people to do military jobs, like paramilitary, clandestine jobs. You got to be like disappeared or like undone, somehow. And I don't know exactly, but I think that there's probably a good point there somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't dug a ton into this either, and it seemed kind of like they were pushing a bit for the narrative of, oh, this was an immigrant that we should be scared of brown immigrants. Sure. It's like, okay, but he was from Afghanistan and he was vetted by the CIA. Like the autistic internet that you created with your Tylenol or vaccines or whatever, it doesn't take them long to figure out to do the internet sleuthing that the internet does, and they came back with, oh, he's a CIA guy. And Trump's like, oh, yeah, one of those. Those happen. Sometimes, sometimes people just get triggered and they go cuckoo. Let's hear a little bit more from Donald Trump.
Look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other. And that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted.
Okay.
And we have a lot of
That's a
others
problem.
in this country. We're going to get them out. But they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
Your DOJ
Something.
IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was...
Yeah, but Mr. Trump, your FBI said that they were vetted properly, and yeah, but you're dumb. Are you stupid? They're in, and we can't get them out, and you're stupid. Why would you ask such a stupid question? Who Epstein? Who? What files? What are you talking? Wait, what are we denying today? It's pathetic. Like, we're still blaming Biden. Obviously, it was Biden who let him in, and even if my administration says it was all on the up and up, well, you're stupid if you even imply that my administration did anything that wasn't on the up and up, because that was Joe Biden's fault. Whatever I did, whatever I said, even these words that are coming out of my mouth, they are Joe Biden's fault, and I take no responsibility for them. It's just pathetic, and watching him flail is so sad.
This is the nature of a great political football, though. Biden did it. Like, problem, reaction, solution, right? Biden did this thing. Blame the other team, but don't worry. We've got a plan. We're going to spend huge amounts of DHS dollars, and we're going to send out all these people, and we're going to block all these countries and do all this immigration work, and all because of the other team. But don't worry, like, we're going to take care of that. So they'll just keep running that.
Yeah, all you got to do, I mean, especially since he's only got 4 years max, he's only got to stretch out this bullshit for 4 years. Just blame Biden for 4 years, and then it's the next person's fault. Now, if J.D. Vance were to get elected, would he blame Donald Trump, or would he still have to stretch back to blaming Joe Biden for all of his problems? Time will tell. But Donald Trump had a very happy Thanksgiving message for everybody. He said, and I quote, "A very happy Thanksgiving." I mean, this is just a wall. I don't think we're getting to all of this, but a very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great, as Donald Trump is known to speak, a very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct. Okay, and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people consensus, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. Yeah. So, I mean, just right off the bat, it's like our nation is great, and we're also full of stupid immigrants. But also we're great, but also gangs, drug cartels, prisons, mental institutions. Great country, though. We're doing great. It's Biden's fault. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put us with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 in a yearly benefits for their family. The real migration population is much higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crimes, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits, etc. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman/woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. And again, I say, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a safe one out there as the Somalis rape your pillage and plunder your children or something. I don't know. This was brought up only because he said that Tim Walz was seriously retarded, and I think that's hilarious.
It is.
I don't know if he was on a Valium or something when he said it, or if it was a calculated 3D, 4D, 5D, 12D chess move for him to say that. But it did make me go, that's what I voted for. I mean, it's not a lot. It's real small. But calling Tim Walz retarded, yeah, that's it. Even if it has to be on Thanksgiving with a wall of bullshit, as long as you sneak that in there from time to time, you still have my attention a little bit. But I'm sure you'll bring me back down in some way. I don't remember what the next tab is that I'm going to open, but I bet it's something stupid that you said. But Dave, do you got any thoughts on Donald Trump's heartwarming Thanksgiving salutation message to the country?
Great. Classic Trump. I am also for stopping immigration from all third world countries and the destruction of American cities like Minneapolis. But again, I think that this is one of those things that was done so that they can do a problem reaction solution. Oh, your cities are under attack and people don't have any money or food or any opportunities. Would you like us to institute this government program to help you? Right.
Should we can take over them for
send
you?
in the troop. Right. Yeah. So, watch out for that and wherever you live. But yeah, I'm for blocking that up, stopping that. And, don't marry your brother.
Just such a
I'm also
schizophrenic rant too. It's just like, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Our country is wonderful. Somalis are roving the streets and murdering people. Also, Ilhan Omar is an illegal immigrant because she married her brother. Also, Tim Walz is retarded. And Happy Thanksgiving. Like,
great.
Yep, that's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at. Now running it back with that energy, we've got just a lot of reruns lately, I feel like. And here's one. Donald Trump said this last week, "We must focus all of our energy and might on election fraud." Because if you haven't had enough of Donald Trump focusing all of his energy and focus on election fraud by now, I mean, what is there left to uncover? Donald Trump had these smoking guns, I heard, of election fraud 4 years ago, and Rudy Giuliani was going to blow the lid off of all of this, and I don't know what happened there, but now is the time. Now that Trump's numbers, his approval rating is kind of tanking. It's wavering on its way down with everything that he says, but it feels like all of these things are like, what worked before? Let's try that. Call somebody stupid. Call somebody a fat pig. Election fraud. People love that. People love when I pretend like I'm the underdog. It just feels like a rerun to distract from the fact that everything kind of sucks under Donald Trump's draining of the swamp Part 2 attempt, which has only further emboldened the swamp. But you still concerned about election fraud, Dave?
I mean, it's not like it's not on my list of concerns, but I'm concerned.
Who cares about election fraud if the elections are fake? And they're clearly fake, but go on.
Right. It's like, imagine like in the course of, a small period of time, like someone tried to kill you. And then a couple months later, your property taxes went up. And then a couple months down the line, you made a tweet and you were like, guys, I need your attention. My property taxes went up. Like, you should let your friends know about, the shit that's really concerning, I think. So that's where my head would be at if I was him. We need to solve the murder problem.
Yeah.
That's what I would be at.
Yeah. If you, do half the things that you said you were going to do when you went into office, you probably wouldn't even have to worry about election fraud because you'd probably win in another landslide like you did against Kamala Harris. If you actually did anything that you said you were going to do, we'd all come back out and vote for you. But here we are, 1 year in, and promises made and promises made. Now, Trump also had some other drama alert on Twitter, fun name, reported as huge news. Donald Trump said this week.
For the next couple of years, I think we'll substantially be cutting, and maybe cutting out completely, but we'll be cutting income tax. Could be almost completely cutting it because the money we're taking in is going to be so large. And yet, other countries who have been ripping us off for many, many years, they've just been ripping us to shreds for the next couple of...
Okay, so running, just playing all the hits, all the greatest hits that made everybody go, yeah, I like what you have to say when you're talking about abolishing the income tax, but pretending like this is huge news, breaking news, or any kind of news at all, and anything other than what it is, which is a desperate attempt to regain support when his support is tanking because he will not release the Jeffrey Epstein files. It's just distraction. He did this in January, right after he got elected. He was already in the White House and said, we're going to do this. And you and I talked about it on the show. And we were like, well, tariffs might not go great, but, if you're cutting out the income tax, and yeah, I could see how that might, at the very least, even out. And it's a good start and a good step in the right direction. And somebody informed me in the comments that Donald Trump also said this in 2016. I didn't hear it at the time, but this is not new. This is not breaking. This is Donald Trump lying again and saying that he's going to do something that he absolutely will not do. The tariffs were supposed to take away the income tax 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever, and instead he implemented the tariffs, argued with China for a while, took the tariffs away, signed an executive order saying we're not going to implement those tariffs or whatever. I don't know. It's just been so back and forth, but he is still proposing it as, if we tariff a little bit harder, then we can take away the income tax. Well, then why are we signing executive orders to get rid of some of your tariffs? I don't know. It's just maddeningly stupid that you read the comments and they're like, it would be amazing if we took away the income tax. It's like, yes, it would be amazing if he did that, or any of the list of other things that he said he was going to do. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, classic Trump, bro. That's one of those things that he can just say and there's no repercussions for it. Other than, that would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That would be cool if you did that. But you won't do that because, one, you don't have the power to do that. You're not interested in doing that. You couldn't even get rid of Obamacare. That was your last promise. And the promise, by the way, of all the Republicans in the entire establishment there. But that never happened. You couldn't even do that, and you're not interested in that. You think you're going to undo the motherfucking income tax?
Right.
Come on, bro.
Not alive.
No, sounds great though. Like I'll be right here on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. We'll see if he drains the swamp this time. Any minute now. Just trust in that plan. Donald Trump posted this week to try and get people out to vote. He's calling it Swamp the Vote. Swamp the Vote. I don't know. maybe it's just the propagandist to me. That just seems like a bad choice of words. Swamping the vote. We're supposed to be draining the swamp, but now swamp is being turned into a positive. We're going to all flood into the polling booth, and for that, we didn't use like swarm or like flood or rock the vote or get out the vote. We used, for the Donald Trump administration, they decided swamp the vote. What? It seems like an insult at this point. That it almost seems intentional. Like, I don't think this was just a miscalculation to use such poor choice of words. I think that this was intentional to just say, fuck you, you're going to trust the plan no matter what I say. Now we're just going to swamp this motherfucker up, and you're going to come right along with us into this swamping of the vote. But am I overreacting, Dave?
No, the swamp has clearly not only not been drained, but it's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's the swamp signature. Swamp, motherfucker. For life. Swamp. That's what that is.
Yep. Swamp it up. That's what we do here. Donald Trump also had what some people are calling major wins this week when this news came out. New Rush Hour 4 is now reportedly in the works after President Trump personally requested that the studio revive the franchise, according to Semaphore. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker will reportedly be returning. Quote, the president is offering some creative input on potential upcoming projects. Trump appears to want to revive the raucous comedians and action movies of the late 1980s and 1990s. Trump convincing the Ellisons to make a new installment of Rush Hour whose broad racial humor might have been unwelcome a few years ago. Let's see, if not much earlier, maybe one of the capstones of his cultural influence as president this time around.
That's bullshit, by the way. That when that movie came out, there was no racial, hubbub about that. Everybody loved that movie, and it was a huge success. That's why they made 4 of them, or whatever.
3 of them. Or 4 of them.
So
And then we can
maybe
4. Yeah, this will be the 4th. If this story is true, which it totally sounds like it was completely AI generated boomer slop, but I've seen it in a couple different areas, so it might be or it might not be. Fact check me if you don't believe, but I've seen from what seem to be credible sources that Donald Trump weighed in, was like, what we need? Let's get that Chinaman and that black dude, that funny black man, back together. Let's make that. You remember Rush Hour? That was a great movie. We need another Rush Hour. Like, it's just so Donald Trump. I mean, I can totally see it happening. Him just being like, just saying it, just speaking it into existence, and the studio's being like, that's it. That's what we'll do. That's what we have. Nothing left. We're completely creatively vapid and bankrupt. So yeah, let's just go ahead and slap these 2 people back together, and we'll come up with something. Donald Trump said to do it, and by golly, he is moving culture in the right direction by having this edgy comedy of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker reviving a very popular franchise that is known and beloved by many.
Look at him trying to get Epstein plane enjoyer Chris Tucker more work in 2025.
Yep. It's just so... do you think that this is like... I don't know. I can't see it as anything other than Donald Trump just saying something and it happening, just speaking it into existence. It's almost like he's like, well, what do people like? What do people like? Old comedies, raunchy, racial comedies and stuff where you could make real jokes, like Rush Hour. That was where the real edge happened, in Rush Hour. I don't know. I didn't watch the movies, Dave. I'm sure you already predicted that. Were they raunchy, racial stuff that would not fly as of today?
No, I mean, it was no, I don't think
like
so. By the way,
no,
nothing like that. In fact, not risky at all. And I only really remember the first. I'm sure I saw them all, but I only remember the first one, which I remember being good and entertained by. It felt new at the time. This is like probably 98 or whatever. But I mean, Jackie Chan goes to change the radio station and Chris Tucker flips out. Don't you ever touch a black man's radio. Like, it's, nothing,
sure,
nothing offensive, whatsoever. But, no, I hope they make another one. And I hope, I hope it takes place. I got a great story. You can help me defend the deep state. Yeah. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Bring those guys back. Make $1 billion.
Of all the things that the White House and President Trump can be spending their time focusing on right now, I think Hollywood reboots is top on my priorities list, personally.
Sounds on brand, though, right? Doesn't that sound like something he would be doing?
What about Top Gun 3? Hear me out here. Tom Cruise gets in a plane and does rah-rah America shit for 2 hours. Sounds good. We'll ship it, Donald. Now, if all these things just sounded like dogging on Donald Trump, they're not. Those are actually our praises of Donald Trump, because there's more, and it gets worse. Because Leading Report reported, breaking, the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, no longer exists.
Pew, 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 pew.
Finally, we can lay that bullshit lie to rest. Elon Musk came in, made good friends with Donald Trump for a campaign that got Donald Trump elected. Then we implemented the Department of Government Efficiency, where we were going to cut all the government waste. And they went, USAID is wasting money in some places. And everyone went, and then we fired all the USAID people. And then we brought a whole bunch of them back. And then we fired Elon Musk. And then we fired Vivek Ramaswamy, which, if you recall, was a part of it for a hot minute. He was supposed to be the guy alongside Elon Musk. He got fired first, and then Elon Musk got fired. And then they were like, it's still going to keep on going. And now nothing has happened since then, as far as I can tell. And now we have cut, in the attempt to cut government waste, we have cut the Department of Government Efficiency entirely, because we are just done pretending like we give two shits about anything that we said in our campaign. Dave, any thoughts?
This is more classic Trump. This is what he's willing to do, or like he's able to do, is to just say whatever it takes during the campaign. Yeah, we are going to do this. And look who endorsed me, the guy who does that. Whether it's RFK, who you trust with your medications and drugs and health, or whether it's Elon, who you trust with your electric car and all these great innovations, they're all on board with me, and we're going to do their thing. Would you like to cut government? We're going to cut government spending. But what they really are good at is sleight of hand, either not doing it and just making it look like they did it, hashtag Epstein files and stuff, or they kind of do it for a minute, or they just move it over. Like the USAID stuff kind of just got moved to the State Department. So Marco
in 6 months,
Rubio,
Doge will have been a Democrat hoax, and we shouldn't talk about it.
Right. So you get to see, it looks like, oh, Ron Paul and Elon will be collaborating on these great government cuts. Like, that's enough to get a lot of people on board. And they know that, dude. Hashtag
Worked on
Cambridge
us.
Analytica. Right. And again, there's not a whole lot of options. Sorry, dogs going
It's
crazy.
all right. Kiefer's got a lot to say.
Does. There's not a lot of options. So it's like, what are you going to do? You got Kamala Harris or that. Like, you take a, maybe you're telling me the truth. Like, that's what you're basically left with. But, here we are.
Here we are indeed. Now we gotta read these other ads. My transitions aren't on point today. I actually remembered at midnight last night. I went to bed at midnight after playing a whole bunch of Resident Evil 7 with my boy. Went to bed exhausted, and then I was laying there. I was like, shit, I've got a show in the morning. Because, we didn't want to do it on Wednesday. And then I got up and put this entire show together until 2:30 in the morning, I'm pretty sure. But, transitions, I didn't think all the way through. Ads are next. Those are what's happening now, and I'm going to push this Sheath button and say, my friends, do yourselves a favor and elevate your daily comfort with Sheath underwear. The innovative dual pouch design provides unparalleled support and separation, ensuring each part of you has the space it deserves, like a stuffed turkey.
That's right. Get in there. Experience the sophistication of a design that respects your anatomy. Wouldn't just... respects it. The moisture wicking technology sets a new standard in comfort. This advanced system not only keeps you cool, but prevents chafing and odor, swamp balls, and the like, making every movement feel effortless.
Well, that's right, Dave. So go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code SYSTEM at checkout. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and functionality with Sheath. Again, that's sheathunderwear.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM. And if you're suffering from the holiday stress, maybe, if you're into that sort of thing, I've never tried Mycadelic, so I can't honestly promote it, but I'm going to. You should try it, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Connect with nature's wisdom through Mycadelic's Mushroom Grow Bags by Tyson 2.0 and Shroom. Now you can cultivate your own sacred mushrooms at home.
That's right. These all-in-one kits guide you on a transformative journey. All you got to do is add your liquid culture and witness the miracle of growth. These advanced filter technology preserves purity, allowing multiple harvests in 4 to 6 weeks.
So go to advancedmango.com and use promo code SYSTEM to save $5 at checkout. Embrace mindfulness and spiritual nourishment. Begin your mushroom journey with Mycadelics Grow Bags today.
Must be 21 or older, may experience psychedelic effects.
And finally, Perfect Spiral. If you're tired of corporate banking cartel... tired of the corporate banking cartel and state-rigged markets stealing your wealth, break free with Perfect Spiral Capital. They'll help you build riches on your terms outside their grip.
Who's there? Let's not answer that today. Invest like a dissident. Ditch the system. Own your future. No bailouts, no handouts, just real results.
The system is rigged and inflation is eating your savings. Opt out now and stack real assets with Perfect Spiral. Build wealth that lasts.
That's right. Perfect Spiral Capital. No bullshit, no red tape, just smart strategies for serious people who crave freedom and financial sovereignty.
So join the rebellion at perfectspiralcapital.com/system. All right. Now, so a couple things left. Obviously, this is kind of old news, which I kind of saved it for the end. This happened just a little bit after, I feel like, last week's episode, unfortunately. So it's been a bit of time, and this has been covered quite a bit by other people. But I did want to bring it up and have a chat about it. Donald Trump, his interesting bedfellows and his interesting enemies. I've heard a lot of people say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, but all I see is Donald Trump making friends of enemies and enemies of friends. Zoran Mamdani, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We got to talk about all of this. Because Mamdani came to the White House the same day that Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that she was just done. And we'll do Mamdani first, and then we'll hear some Marjorie. But keep all that in mind as you hear Donald Trump's new best buddy, who he was just calling an evil communist, whatever. A couple of weeks ago, when Mamdani was running in the race, he had to be stopped at all costs. He not only had to be stopped at all costs, Donald Trump endorsed frickin' Cuomo to beat this guy. That's how desperate Donald Trump pretended to be to keep this guy from holding any sort of political power. But here he is having Mamdani to the White House to be like, hey, I feel like we have some things to learn from each other. Let's see.
Democrat policy specifically as being a problem, and I'd like that be a question that both of you could answer in your city.
Look, I think that there are many things in our city where we have to own the responsibility of it, things that existed long before the president was the president, and those are also part of the message of our campaign, was to take on a broken politics of the past. And I ran against a number of candidates who represented different versions of that past. And what we found time and again is that working people were left behind in the politics of our city. And what we're looking to do is put those people right back at the heart of our politics so that we don't have a situation where we're in the wealthiest city in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 5 can't even afford $2.90 for a Metro card.
Mr. President, we had some interesting conversation, and some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have. But a big thing on cost.
Which ones?
The new
We're all
word
a bunch
is
of socialists here.
Yep. It gets better.
The new word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. It's sort of an old-fashioned word, but it's very accurate. And they're coming down.
Thank you.
We had, both of us, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country the last 4 years.
Sorry, pause it.
Yep.
Pause
That's
it.
pretty much it.
I'm sorry. An old-fashioned word.
It's still.
Groceries.
It's still.
Fuck
You
you, bro.
didn't even read the comments on the first
Bro,
time. He
fuck
said
you.
groceries. Yes. Donald Trump came out and sounded really tone deaf like 6 months ago, and he was like, "There's this word I just heard. It's called groceries. A lot of old timey folks say groceries. Such a beautiful word. It's like, tell me that you get your groceries picked up. Like you haven't bought groceries in probably your entire life, but you don't buy anything. Probably it's just delivered to you literally on a silver platter." And it seemed super tone deaf the first time he said it, and then he has Mamdani in there, and he's like, "I'm gonna talk to the real folks that like this commie fellow, the socialist. They're the poor ones that are really swayed by free things." And he decided, well, Yeah, they said that was a little tone deaf and whatnot, but here goes. I think it's a good one. It's a good word. Groceries. Have you all heard this word, groceries? Yes. Have you heard the word gas prices? Because I've never heard that one either. I don't deal with these things on my, like, it just sounds so elitist to be like, I've never heard the word groceries. It's new to me and foreign. What is that? Anyway. But of course, he, you know, in all of that, we take our most joy from the groceries comment, but it was, you know, Mamdani, the evil Mamdani of yesterday, not even yesteryear. Like, this guy came out of nowhere, and we're supposed to hate him and fear him, and he's going to destroy the country because he's a Muslim terrorist, and he should be deported, and blah, blah, blah. And now Donald Trump's like, come on in, let's duck. And then he brings him in, and they just have a chat, I guess, and he's like, he's got a lot of good ideas, it turns out. Oh, you mean like Democrat socialist ideas? Which, you know, you can't help but to, you know, hearken back to the prophets of yesteryear who, even though Jeremy Coffin was getting just bashed to no end for supporting Donald Trump, he went to Donald Trump and said, MAGA equals socialist. And, you know, it's a beautifully terrible thing to watch it all just come so obviously to fruition, where Donald Trump is bringing this guy in who was evil and bashing Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, and the very, very few people in our Congress and Senate that actually are doing anything and actually getting results. Well, I don't mean that they're getting more results than other people. They're actually being honest and telling you the truth and being principled and sticking to the initial, let's call it MAGA classic, the principles that MAGA pretended to espouse before 2016 election and before the 2024 election. We'll call that MAGA classic. That's what's getting attacked now, while Mamdani is being praised in the White House. And there were some right-wing influencers who played. They loved the clip where Mamdani was asked, like, you called Donald Trump an evil dictator or something. How do you feel about that now? And Mamdani starts to answer, and Donald Trump stops, and he's like, it's okay. It's fine. It doesn't matter. And they were like, Donald Trump just slammed him and made him look stupid because he said, I get it. I know you have to lie. This is politics. And it's like, well, that really makes Donald Trump look stupid because Donald Trump said worse things about Mamdani probably than Mamdani was saying about Trump. And they didn't even ask Trump, like, you guys hated each other, supposedly, in this WWF match just a couple weeks ago, and now you're here hanging out. I think the elephant in the room is, why is this meeting even happening? Why are we pretending like we're friends now? What do you think, Dave?
I think this is classic WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump showing you with certainty that he is not an ideologue. He only cares if you are here to do business with his agenda.
Yep.
So if you're on board, and that could mean that you were once an adversary, but are you on board with me now? And
Right.
He's perfectly willing to keep people like Lindsey Graham and Mark Levin around and promote them, Randy Fine, all these guys who were like Ben Shapiro, anti-Trumpers, never Trumpers before, and who now claim to be MAGA while they try and bury other people like Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, who were like promoting Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're perfectly content to throw them under the bus. Not Tucker, because he's got a huge audience, but when it serves you, you're perfectly happy to dispose of them quickly and efficiently without care, because you don't have friends. You have people that either serve your agenda or don't. And that's really what you're concerned with.
Absolutely. And we can go ahead and just roll that into the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, because she released this very long statement that we're not going to read or listen to all of, but she basically said after 10 years of service to Donald Trump and defending him, like leaving these private or not, like family gatherings and whatnot, my dad was sick, I think she said, and I had to go defend Donald Trump in this thing, and I was here for him on this and that and that. Apparently, she went to the White House. She spoke with Donald Trump in this last week, is what I hear, and they went into like the Situation Room and had a private meeting, and then after that private meeting, she comes out with this, and she's saying that come January 5th of next year, she will be resigning. Lots of people have pointed out that that's right after she gets her whatever pension or something, some big payout. She will be cashing her check and running with it. I'm of many minds on this, quite frankly. I feel like it could absolutely be Donald Trump forced her out or like bribed her out or gave her some sort of additional payout or something. I think that's possible. I think it's also possible that what she says is true, that she's been through a lot and put up a lot for this movement and for MAGA and for Donald Trump, and now she is, because Donald Trump turned all of his lackeys and goons and cult on her, it's just like, what is the point of fighting this uphill battle? I'm just one person, and Donald Trump, the guy that I spent so much time for, is making my life absolute hell, and now I'm getting death threats and all this stuff because I am now the enemy of the thing that I've poured all this time into, and it's just a big fucking waste of time, so I'm going to take my money, I'm going to peace out. I think that's entirely possible too. But I don't know. There is something weird about it being all of a sudden she goes from, fighting the good fight for 10 years through COVID, through the Charlie Kirk stuff, through the Epstein stuff. Like, she's always been like seemingly trying to get to the truth. Even the Jewish space lasers. I mean, she was on the forefront of that. Never mind. But she's always like, she's been taking the hard principled stance that Donald Trump isn't hardly ever even taking, and now all of a sudden she's just gonna be like, well, it got too hard because Donald Trump doesn't like it now. I don't know what to think about this, or if I should praise her, because I feel like in her situation I might do the same. Just be like, fuck you guys, I'm out, this is a waste of time. But what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably do exactly what she did, because I imagine the clip we played last week was her basically accusing the president of being a slave to a foreign nation state.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement to say in a press conference right after you've been pushing all the Epstein stuff. And then I didn't know that you said, they went and had a private meeting. But obviously political
I heard that from Dave
exists.
Smith, so fact check him.
So pretty real, pretty consistent guy over there. But no matter what, it's terrible that he is trying to squeeze the best that we have. It's not like you got one beef with one guy or some Republican who's just like terrible or something like that. It's like, oh, the three very best people, that's who you want to go to war with. It's like, if you don't need much more than that to know what he's all about. And it's terrible to see her go, but I imagine she was under tremendous pressure to do so. And if you're against lifelong congressional pensions, then be against that. But don't be selectively like fucking Gunther Eagleman or whatever. Oh, she shouldn't get it. Oh, should only Lindsey Graham and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, lifelong public servants, get a pension? Fuck you. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm not bothered by that.
Yep. Same. Yeah, it sucks, and it sucks that like I've never been like a huge MTG fan. I'm like, well, she's being more honest than 99.9% of them, so I'm gonna keep an eye on her and whatnot. But I don't think she's as smart as like a Thomas Massey by any stretch, or even close to it. I think Thomas Massey's infinitely more valuable, and I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene. I have a feeling that if Massey wasn't there to push the Epstein stuff, or to push against the COVID stuff, or to push against all this, I don't necessarily think that Marjorie Taylor Greene would have. I think she kind of went along with that too, but she did see that that was a more honest direction to go, even if she's not the sharpest tack in the tack.
I don't know. I agree with you. She's definitely not like genius level to be kind about it, like Massey is, but she's been right and publicly right about lots of important stuff. The wars, the Fed, Department of Education. Remember we fucking watched that video of her roasting Mr. Fauci. Oh yeah, Mr. Fauci, torturing dogs and shit. America's not with torturing dogs, Mr. Fauci. I think she's pretty. I mean, again, we don't have much. Like the standard's pretty fucking low, but she's got to be top 3, top 5.
Sure.
In the whole thing. So it's sad to see her go for me.
It is, and I feel like she does have more to lose in staying than Massey does, because Massey lives off grid with his happy family and supports them all just off the land that he has built his house with his 2 hands and whatnot. Like he's got a lot more protection, I feel like, but Hopefully this doesn't sway him at all. Here is a clip from Thomas Massie allegedly being attempted to be swayed, similar to what it sounds like Marjorie Taylor Greene got.
Also, I'm going to say this here on camera because it's important. One of Kash Patel's staff threatened my staff with a criminal investigation if we didn't straighten up and play ball.
I was going to ask you about that, but since you brought it up, and I didn't
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, you brought it up.
And so, like a criminal investigation having nothing to do, he said it was going to be a fraud. We're going to investigate one of your staff for fraud. Right. And he told another one of my staff this. If you guys don't straighten up, you know, if you want to play hardball, if this is how you want to play it or something like that, this member of your staff is going to get criminally investigated for fraud. A very specific threat.
Now, Thomas Massie, some might say he's a grandstander and he makes things up or whatever. I don't think that Thomas Massie is going to make up such allegations as Kash Patel's FBI has threatened directly one of his staffers that they will accuse them of fraud and frame them, it sounds like, entirely blackmail them if they don't, quote-unquote, straighten up, whatever that means. But, yeah, it's a pretty big allegation that I don't think Thomas Massie would throw out willy-nilly, and you can tell even from the beginning of that, he's hesitant to say it, but he's like, this needs to be said. This fucking happened, and y'all need to know, because I'm in this alone now. What do you think, Dave?
I think the same thing when people accuse Candace of being a grifter for like coffin surfing Charlie Kirk, or even like the sensationalism for talking about Macron's wife. It's like, do you not understand that there are other ways to get money and that she could be like really in danger by saying some of these things? Like that's the and same with Massie here. It's like to make that claim about the director of the FBI, you're putting yourself, no matter if it's true or false, you're putting yourself in danger. So Absolutely. Like you have what's in it for Massie by saying that if it's not true, right? What's in it for Candace if it's not true?
Absolutely. And Dave, I didn't come with some great transitions today, but you're setting it up just perfectly. So I know you got to get going here in just a second. Do you got time for another 2-minute clip and then we'll get out?
2-minute clip? Let's do that. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Here's Charlie Kirk, a flashback to Charlie Kirk basically telling Thomas Massie directly the thing that you just said, Dave.
We have Congressman Thomas Massie. Congressman, this might sound like a strange question, but I know it's on everybody's mind. You're going to be on the committee that will oversee the most powerful institutions on the planet, the FBI, the CIA, maybe the IRS. Are you concerned for your own safety and or what they might try to do to blackmail you? We know the intel agencies have files on every lawmaker that might become disagreeable. This is not some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. I'm sure this has crossed your thoughts.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, you're not qualified to be on this committee if you don't realize that there will be an effort to discredit me. But you know what? Of all the people that they try to discredit, I married my high school sweetheart. I don't have an interesting romantic past. We grow our own food. We make our own power. At the end of the day, what are they going to do to me? I'll just go back to my farm and live out my days if they are in any way successful in ruining me. But this is so important, it's worth it. If I can't do it, who can? If I can't break through this, who can? And that's why I've been here 10 years. It's easy to get jaded. I'm redoubling my efforts. I'm excited to come to work and work on this every day. And I think that's what's going to take. It's going to take a dogged perseverance and just sort of ignoring the detractors. The left is saying this is a tinfoil hat committee. This is MAGA conspiracy committee. But it is no conspiracy to know what has gone on. We've seen things that have come out. We've got facts about what has gone on. And I know we're going to be bumping up not just against the FBI, but the other three-letter agencies and probably three-letter agencies in other countries because it's also commingled. And so I'm going to be a target of a lot of capable efforts.
We have. So, speaking of prophecy, Charlie Kirk, Kash Patel's FBI is going to try and frame you for something because you're telling the truth. So, do you realize that you're in danger out there by being honest? Said Charlie Kirk, now assassinated for telling lots of truths, allegedly. And Thomas Massey is like, yeah, I know that. And not only that, but I think you're unqualified if you don't accept that as the likelihood if you're going to tell the truth in Congress. And, now we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who just couldn't quite hack it, and she's stepping down. Godspeed to her, but Thomas Massey, hopefully he stands by those words and does the same. And, he's got, there's Teflon Don. I think we should start Teflon Tom, because Thomas Massey, what can you do against him other than frame him for something? Because he is just, like he said, he had one girlfriend that became his wife for 30 years. Then she died. Then he remarried. He doesn't have sexual history or black books or anything like that. He's just a guy who cares about the country. One guy out of however many Congress people we have currently, only one guy currently is like, yeah, I actually still care about decency and truth, and he needs to be protected at all costs. Dave, any final thoughts?
Oh, yeah, one guy. That's crazy. Just to, weave it back, as Trump would say, back to the beginning of this episode, talking about Twitter's new policy on, putting a spotlight on where people are tweeting from. There was some, what I thought was credible reports of the Department of Homeland Security tweeting and based from Tel Aviv. This was not just a screenshot. This was video stuff. So again, people go look into that, find out for yourself. But when they say that the agencies are intertwined at this point, I think they're really serious, very literal, and there's hardly any separation at this point. It's going to be hard to sever
no sunlight between them, as they say.
Right. So when you talk about Epstein and CIA, Mossad, it's different stores, same groceries at this point. So I would be wary of that. But yeah, that was very prophetic, and Kash Patel has been an incredible disappointment, more so even than Pam Bondi, because the writing was on the wall that she was terrible and a gun grabber and all the rest. But he was, I'm going to close the Hoover Building day one, and no, you're terrible, and you're just as much of a stooge as anybody else, and very disappointing. But yeah, prophetic.
Yep. Not to leave it on a down note, but Thomas Massey is still alive, and for that, we still have hope. Whatever. It's Black Friday. Go do some shopping, because Brylan Houlihan told you that capitalism is good or something. But thank you all for being here and hanging out, and for hanging out in the future and listening. Again, patreon.com/The System Is Down if you want to support. That's all I can say, because there's no after party at TSID Pod or thesystemsdown.tv. Dissident stuff at Dissident Media, distantmedia.com, at Dave vs. Goliath 1. Dave, where can people find you?
That's it. DissidentMedia.com and Dave vs. Goliath 1 on Twitter. Follow me there.
Ah, cool. You want to go eat some meat?
I got ham, turkey, bro. I'm going to do it up. Sausage, gravy, sausage stuffing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't mean to get sexual about it, but that's what PETA does anyway. But
up in the turkey all day.
I don't know. I mean, I would try a tofurkey, but for me personally, the thing that separates the tofurkey from the turkey is the deliciousness of the soul of the person that you consume when you eat turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and good night.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.
This has been